episode 500 of the Too Thick Pod, your home for all things sports, cards, and levity. We're rolling solo dolo today. We've got an Inside the Mind of Sticks and Sweat part 2. And so it's been a hot minute. I was on hiatus. I was in a spot where I found the hobby content not to be all that. And which is wild because I find consuming hobby content to be enjoyable. I find some of it to be entertaining. I love the educational piece. I'm always trying to learn how I can operate more efficiently, more effectively. And there is a difference. Efficiency is a process, effectiveness is a result. And so I'm always trying to be a little bit better, like trying to hone my craft, trying to be just all around better. And I found a spot where I was jumping on Instagram, and I've slowly been getting away from Instagram. I've spent more and more time on Twitter or X, but I'm very particular about having a very curated experience. And I found recently that just wasn't enjoying it. And, this is a hobby. This is a form of escapism. I have no contractual ties to anybody. Nobody's paying any of my bills over here yet. However, I'm strongly considering selling out and just getting the bag. But I thought, what's the harm in just taking some time off? Refreshing a little bit, spending some time with the kiddos, and just letting, hobby stuff sit by the wayside. Now, I will say, had a couple of orders pop from PSA and BGS, which was truly dope. So it was kind of conflicting because I got these cards in, I wanted to share them, but I also was trying to, take some time off and regroup, get refreshed, get rejuvenated. And so just an odd time. I will tell you, coming back, I feel good. I feel strong. I feel ready to rock and roll. I'm sure I'm going to have a million DMs to respond to, specifically on Twitter. It's even been quiet on Instagram because I legitimately haven't gone on Instagram. I actually took Twitter off of my phone. And this is going to sound a little bad, but I found by, removing these things, I just created another like hour or two in my day. Like, I think everybody's aware that we probably spend more time scrolling and looking at stuff that we don't need to, or we could make better use of that time. And so it was nice. I will say this: there's a lot that's happened. Obviously Courtney was still very active in holding things down for Reckless, so wasn't completely out of the loop. But instead of having to scroll through and read stuff and so hates so and so doesn't like the way so and so collects, or their collection is whack, I was able to just get the Cliff Notes version from Court. So it's been a while. Excited to get back in with Manny. We're really excited to finally drop the shirts. They're going to be available at Shipshawana. A very, very dope show here in the Midwest. Probably one of the best one-day shows in the country. Obviously a little biased, but it's the last few shows, there's more and more people flying in from out of town, and I think it's starting to get the buzz and the recognition that it so rightfully deserves. So I was just figure I'd jump on here, kind of explain the little brief hiatus. And I would encourage you that if you're feeling a little bogged down, drained, or it's not the level of fun that it's always been, maybe taking a step back might do you some good. It might, because ultimately for me, I didn't want to get to a space where I had disdain or I hated what I was doing. Like, it's always been so much fun. I always look forward to jumping on with Manny. I always look forward to, sharing somebody's dope card in an Instagram story. I like, participating in stuff. And when it gets to a point when you're just kind of like going through the motions, or, you don't feel like your heart is in it, I think it's okay to, step back. And just also, I feel like probably gonna, piss some people off, but I feel like some some, and I'm sure there's dope stuff out there that I've missed, but I think some hobby content just kind of whack. It's either fully built on gotcha, it's some of it lacks any authenticity. Some of it is just like fake, and some of it's just trying to sell you on stuff. And that gets tiresome. Sometimes I just want to put something on and not have to read between the lines. And I just want to either be educated, entertained, whatever the case may be. I consume a lot of it. And because I'm an inquisitive person by nature, it's probably part of my personal struggle with hobby content is being like, well, I know you said this here, I know you said that here, and this is a complete and total contradiction. Is it just, have you had a change in the way that you're operating? Is somebody different paying you? Was that a lie and this is truth? Is this truth and that's a lie? And so maybe that's, just a personal thing, but I've consumed enough of it where I'm starting to see some of that. And, that's not my favorite thing. I just also wish that there was a higher level of authenticity. I think there's a lot of it's lacking in my opinion, and maybe I have to do a better job of finding other stuff to consume. I will say that there is some good stuff out there. I think Dave from Extraordinary Cards with the Sold Too Early podcast. I think he's very blunt. And when I listen to that podcast, I enjoy it. I think it's incredible for previewing shows. I think it's great for show recaps. I think he does an incredible job talking about like his thought process and, not being connected to the cards. So if you're looking for something like that, or you skew towards that style of hobby content, I will say that that's probably been the one consistent show lately, and I've appreciated that. So, um, yeah, man. Other than that, gearing up, we have hit a very, very nice cycle over here of just trying to get maybe 10 to 20 cards in for grading on like a maybe a weekly, bi-weekly basis. Unfortunately, sometimes you buy raw cards and they're not worthy of grading. So obviously PSA, BGS, and SGC can't get those back to me soon enough. I've got a lot of TCG. I continue to like dabble in that space and learn about that stuff. But I figured I'd jump on here, kind of just let everybody know that I'm excited. I think me and Manny are recording 2 tomorrow. We've got a lot of dope guest stuff coming up. And so uh yeah, man, we're human beings. We have lives. Manny's, embarked on a new career that he's just totally kicking ass at, and I couldn't be any more proud of him. He's also always trying to be super dad, and everybody knows how many kids we got over here. So sometimes real life just gets in the way, and sometimes cards take a back seat. But the one thing that remains consistent is uh, we love the hobby. We love cards. We love chopping it up. And so just excited to get back out here. So I thought I would drop a little quickie inside the mind of Sticks. And I will say, I listened to Manny and Courtney on Cage's podcast, The National Treasures. And I thought it was pretty damn funny when they were talking about a nickname for Courtney. And I had like 4 of them go through my head. I messaged her right away, and number 1 was the same one that she was thinking. Totally not appropriate for this podcast, even though we skew towards the NC-17 sort of rating. But I thought that was cool. But genuinely curious if anybody else ever has like, I don't know if you want to call it hobby fatigue or burnout, or just get like annoyed. Maybe it's annoyed. Maybe I'm just an old man who wants to yell at kids and tell them to get the hell off my grass. And I'm perfectly cool with that. Or have you noticed that like some of the content has been kind of shitty lately? It's just me by nature. I try to avoid negative stuff. Kind of always been that way. Kind of just brings me down. And so, I want to be mindful of what's out there. I don't want to be completely ignorant or aloof to what's going on. But I don't want to be inundated with it. If I take a break from work, I want to be able to look at something that either makes me laugh, provokes thought, makes me smile, makes me cry, not like angry or who's fighting with who, you know. golden rule, man. If we all just treated the way we want to be treated, it'd be a great spot. But yeah, that's it. 10 minutes and 20 seconds of me rambling. Unfortunately, you can never get that time back. But what you can do, and I encourage you to do so, is smash that subscribe button, like, follow, and get ready, man. Those shirts are coming. They're so dope. They're so dope. I'm not lying. If I was at National, we would have probably had them for National. But the fact that I wasn't going to be there, I was maybe being a little bit of a hater and slow rolling it. And yeah, but they'll be available at Ship Shawana, and they will be available online. So make sure you check that out. But I hope that you enjoyed this hobby release, and I hope I made Manny proud because he does it so much better than I. But until next time, take care.